What is the good life? I want to be happy.
Seth, what's up?
Like, get out of college, support your family, and just, I mean, you gotta do what you want to do.
Oh, this
You
weekend is
gotta
going
work to
great,
live,
as you can
not
see.
live to work.
We got colors for days.
What would you say about
Super beachy tank, by the way.
I mean,
There, blowing it up.
what do you mean?
They're pretty comfortable. I wish they had.
someone who says the good life is opposite?
I mean, what the opposite is what? You work your whole life and you die for nothing. It's like, it's just pretty sad. You say?
How do you define evil?
Well, I'd have to say evil is obviously bad, and it's like temptations, I feel like, are evil, and anything that is going against what you like, and people wanting to kind of disrupt that, and if you don't want to do something and someone pushes you to it, I feel like that's evil pushing someone else to do something. So it's mostly bad in the world.
And what is the solution to evil?
It's hard because I feel like the solution would be like my solution would be like trusting in God and whatever His evil, like the evil that's coming in can be abolished through what I believe through God and whatever He says through me, through Scripture, or through the Bible. We could instead of evil.
Okay. Is God our creation or are we God's creation?
Okay, I believe that we are God's creation and that we are created in His image. And I do think that people today, though, think that God is our creation and that we can kind of create our own God, and that there's like different gods in our society and like idols that we try to hold that standard. But in the end, I think that we are all created.
And how do you know if God exists or does not exist?
I know that God exists just through reading the Scripture and through the Word and really diving into that. And I know there's like science that goes into it. And I know a lot of people say that science doesn't actually, I guess, support God's existence, but then like research and like cause that to happen.
Is morality a matter of opinion or is there some objective standard of behavior that applies to everyone?
I think there's definitely an objective standard set forth by the Bible. I mean, it outlines what morality is, what's right and wrong, but I also know that, like, Christians can't hold non-Christians accountable to a set of laws that they didn't agree to. So there is definitely, like, a set of morality that's written on your heart, like God wrote it on people's heart.
Follow-up question is, whose standard should we use?
I think we have to use God's standards. I mean, if we're God's creation, which we are, then the Creator gets to decide the rules of the game.
Is the purpose of education to find the truth or prepare for a profession or something else?
I believe it's both. It could be to find the truth, but you're also preparing yourself for what's in store for the future.
How do you know what is the truth?
I believe it's something that you yourself believe is right, or it could be based on facts or different statistics.
Is God our creation or are we God's creation?
So I'd say, or I know, that we are God's creation. God created us at the beginning of time to worship Him and reflect His glory. So that's my view, is that we are here to serve God.
Wait.
How do you learn about God?
So I learn about God by just getting in the Word, reading the Bible as much as I can, being in biblical community with other believers, and just sharpening each other in that area.
What happens after we die?
Well, I believe if you believe in God and ask Him into your heart, that you will go to heaven and be with Him in eternity forever. Be with Him for eternity.
How can you be sure?
Well, in the Bible, it clearly says that if you know God and accept Him in your heart, that you will see Him one day in heaven. So, yeah.
The purpose of education to find the truth or to prepare for a profession or something else.
I think the real purpose of education behind getting better knowledge and expanding your horizons is really a lot about finding more information about yourself, who you are, what you want to be, and sort of the things that interest you in the world.
What do you believe is the truth?
It has to learn somewhere.
The truth is life. Even if you don't believe in the overall truth.
You know, I'm still kind of young, so that's something I'm trying to find as I go on this journey through college and life. But I think it's being happy and finding your happiness. So yeah, thanks guys.
Is the purpose of education to find the truth or to prepare for a profession or something else?
Well, I don't know that you can. Who defines what truth is? So I don't know that education. That's too high of a standard for education. Because if I'm here as a professor, I'm not trying to lead students to the truth because I don't know what the truth is. But I am, and in some ways, I guess, particularly a department like agribusiness. I mean, in large part, the courses that we're offering is, in at least in some way, helping to prepare students for a profession. But I think education is much broader than that because if it's only to prepare somebody for a profession, then it's really training. And I think there's a big difference between training and education. I think education serves to broaden a person's worldview, to challenge their ideas, to challenge their thoughts, to certainly in the context of a collegiate education, to bring them into contact with people they may not have otherwise met, or most of us come from, well, I'll give myself as an example. I came from a small little town. Most of the people were very much like me in all sorts of demographic aspects, and going to a big university allowed me to learn not just about the courses I was taking and the degree I ended up with, but to learn a lot about people and to learn a lot about myself. So I think there's a much broader context than either. I don't think it's possible for education to enable us to find the truth, and I think it has to be a lot broader than if we're only training people, educating people for a profession, then we're not really serving, I think, also what we should be doing in education.
Okay, thank you.
That wasn't too hard.
Is the purpose of education to find the truth or prepare for a profession or something else?
Well, I think that it's probably a combination of those things. I mean, some facts, education is can be a matter of learning facts, and some of those facts or skills that you learn do help prepare you for a profession. But in my mind, what education really is about the learning process and kind of learning how to learn new skills and how to learn new things, because that's what people do throughout their lives. So to me, college and high school formal education is really about learning how to learn.
And the follow-up question is, what is the truth? What's your opinion of the overall truth and whether you believe that there is or is not an overall truth?
Well, I mean, I think some things are objective and they're either true or not true, but most things are much more subjective. And so it's a matter of shades of gray rather than black and white.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Okay, good luck.
What happens after we die?
I think when we die, we kind of, we learn the secrets of the universe. I feel like the universe kind of owes it to us. So like if we die, we learn all the secrets and then we become recycled. And our bodies go to other people's bodies. And our souls kind of disperse.
How can you be sure of this?
I'm not 100% sure, but I like to think so. I like to think so just to make me not really be too afraid of death. I'm not afraid of death. It came over, the whole idea came over me probably within the past 2 years. But, it's just something to live for. Thank you for your time, man.
Okay. What happens after we die?
Our souls, for lack of a better word, leave our bodies and go off into a realm that this life has been preparing us for forever.
And how can you be sure of that?
I've seen it.
Okay. Is God our creation, or are we God's creation?
I think that everyone has their own idea of God in their head, and I feel like they make it different than general standard of God, but, I mean, who knows if there maybe was a God and we were created by them.
Okay, and how do you know if he doesn't or does exist?
You don't, that's why they call it faith.
Good answer.
One.
What is the good life?
I think the good life is living life to the fullest and having a strong faith in God.
Okay. And what would you say about competing definitions of the good life?
I think a lot of it is people think materialistic things are compose a good life, which is not true.
Good answer. Okay. What do you think happens after we die?
Well, after we die and we get buried into the ground, eventually we just decompose and become part of the earth again and become a cycle with Mother Nature.
How can you be sure of this?